Hey everyone, welcome back to our Professional Growth Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here as we power through these daily lessons together. Today we're hitting day 6, and it's all about 3 incredibly crucial actions: listen, learn, and accept feedback. If you've been hanging out with us for the last few days, you know we're building a rock-solid foundation for some serious career momentum. And honestly, today's topic is very often the dividing line between just, good professionals and truly great ones. So let's get right into it.
But first, before we really unpack today's lesson, I've got to ask, did you complete the Day 5 challenge? Yesterday was all about communicate to create results. Did you get a chance to step up and actually put that into practice? Remember, just consuming this information is really only step 1. The real magic, the actual career growth we're aiming for here, that only happens when you take these concepts out of the abstract and apply them in your actual real-world work environment.
And hey, quick side note, if you happen to miss day 4, or honestly, any of our previous foundational days, don't worry about it at all. You can easily catch up on all the content over at the Transaid Consulting YouTube channel. Definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button while you're there so you never miss out on these daily, actionable explainers. Seriously, it's just the best way to keep yourself accountable.
Okay, let's dive into this. Today's core professional lesson is anchored in one incredibly powerful idea. Your ability to grow is strongly connected to your willingness to listen. Now, that sounds super simple on the surface, right? But let's really think about that for a second. How often do we listen just to formulate our reply, rather than listening to actually absorb and understand what the other person is saying? I mean, it happens all the time. Our natural human instinct is to protect our ego. When someone starts offering feedback, our brain kind of perceives it as a threat, and that acts as an immediate, massive barrier to true listening. We literally start building our defense arguments before the other person has even finished their sentence. But when you actively work to dismantle that barrier, when you're truly willing to hear what others have to say about your performance, without that immediate impulse to push back, you unlock a massive, completely untapped catalyst for your own professional development. You start picking up on the subtle nuances that can genuinely make you better. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it perfectly captures the 2 completely distinct ways we process feedback in the workplace. And honestly, the difference between these 2 dictates the entire trajectory of your career. The first way is a very natural, deeply human reaction, which is treating correction as an attack. Imagine you've just handed in a major project, and your boss hands it back totally covered in red ink or leaves a dozen comments on your shared document. If you're operating from this first mindset, your ego instantly flares up. Your heart rate might even spike a bit. You feel like your competence or maybe even your character is being called into question. Your defenses rise, and in that exact moment, all learning just stops. You're no longer looking at the work, you're just trying to protect yourself. But effective professionals, they do something entirely different. They actively train themselves to view correction purely as objective information for improvement. They look at that exact same marked up document and they strip the personal emotion totally away. They realize the feedback isn't about them as a person, it's about the product. They take the data they're being given, analyze it calmly, and use it to systematically upgrade their skills. It's a fundamental shift in perspective. Moving from I am being attacked to I am being handed the exact blueprint for how to improve changes absolutely everything about how you operate and how quickly you advance.
So the crucial point is, how do we actually force this mindset shift into practice today? Because let's be real, it's incredibly easy to talk about, but way harder to do when the pressure is actually on. Well, here's your specific challenge. Step 1, I want you to go to a trusted colleague or your manager and ask them one simple, very direct question. What is one thing I could do better professionally? Now, here's the really challenging part. Step 2, listen without defending yourself. I really want to emphasize this because it goes completely against our default wiring. I want you to resist the immense urge to explain yourself, to make excuses, or to justify why you do something a certain way. A fantastic trick here is to literally take notes while they speak. Bring a notebook and write down exactly what they're saying. This actually does 2 things. First, it forces your brain to process their words as objective data rather than a personal attack. And second, it physically keeps you from interrupting. Just write it down, look them in the eye, say a sincere thank you, and then walk away to process the feedback.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. And it's a question I really want you to carry with you for the rest of your workday. Will you listen to learn today? Or will you listen just to protect your ego? What are you actually afraid of hearing? You see, it takes genuine courage to step up, invite constructive criticism, and actually face our own blind spots head on. But it is undeniably the absolute fastest track to becoming the best possible professional version of yourself. So take today's challenge, really embrace the feedback you receive, and watch your growth accelerate. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.